So, Alex, we've reached 1,000 deaths now from COVID-19 here in Nevada, and that just proves how serious this virus can be for some who become infected. And while there are many thousands more who have recovered, the symptoms can still be miserable and sometimes scary.
I got the call that I was positive.
James Healy says he wasn't feeling well the morning he got the call he'd tested positive for the coronavirus.
From the time that I woke up until maybe 4 hours later, I was two different people. It literally was like a dark shadow. I could feel the shadow coming over me.
As a strip hotel casino manager, Healy is around a lot of people. He began calling other managers he works with, telling them to self-quarantine, and says he couldn't believe how quickly his body was caving.
The achiness became just like literally pulling me down. The headache started to get a lot worse. The congestion started to get a lot worse. And by 1 o'clock, I was done. I didn't even have the energy to make a phone call. I went to bed. And then from there, about a week, I slept 12 hours a day.
His partner, Richie, immediately got tested, but it took 6 days for results to come back. And sure enough, he was positive, but surprisingly never got sick.
Not a sniffle, not a cough, thank goodness. Because that's what I was worried about. And, because everybody's different.
James never had a fever, but his other symptoms dragged on, and he stayed COVID positive for 31 days. He says he was fortunate he never had to go to the hospital.
I kept my phone in my hand even when I slept because I was afraid that if I went to sleep and started having breathing problems, what would I do, right? Or will you wake up? You're seeing all of these things happening around you. Of course, you're home for ever. So you're watching every news story and every breaking heart story there is. And it plays a real psychological game with you.
James is back at work now and says he's more vigilant than ever about practicing social distancing with coworkers and customers because the cost of not being responsible is just too high.
I'm very conscious, and this goes totally against what we are taught in hospitality, right? We're all about smiles. We're all about connectivity. We're all about hospitality. And those things are completely changed now in our world. That's what I guess my personal message would be to everybody, that this is not a joke. People all around us are dying. People's jobs are gone. Industries are gone, and it's really tough.
Well, we wish the best for James. He says he still suffers with headaches, and he says, unfortunately, that some casino guests don't agree to follow the state directive of wearing masks and social distancing, and they even become belligerent and really nasty about it. But he doesn't hesitate to ask them to leave or even have them escorted off the property by security for the sake of those who do and who want to stay safe. We wish him the best, Alex.
Yeah.